I really think we should start putting together the paperwork in the case against Basil Rivers. But do you think that he actually is on to something, or is he the one that's actually guilty of being the social media killer? Well, like I said, I believe in my own heart, and I went to church this Sunday and sat down and talked to the priest, and in this world of good and evil, I was given the information I feel that I should proceed with. Now, he's young and he's very intelligent, and sometimes that intellect can get you into trouble. So out of respect for what I believe the young man is doing, I think he's using being a detective as an instrument to move forward and function in whatever life of crime that he's doing. Well, that's very possible that you could be jumping the gun, sir. Don't assume that fast that all he's doing is creating a device or mechanism that causes confusion. Who knows? I mean, you can't say he's responsible for a whole world full of turmoil. This whole process with this social media and people getting killed and taken apart, he wasn't in a lot of these places and locations, so you can't say he's responsible for everything. Come on now. Well, I just think if he is bringing this up and is not following instructions and wants to be a smart aleck about the whole thing, then he deal with whatever the repercussions are. Now, I'm only afraid for the people, and I'm interested in trying to protect the public. That's what my job is, and that's what your job is. And if you have a problem with it as well, then we can put paperwork together for you as well also to get you on the move. None of this stuff is a problem. Things will be done my way regardless.
Head east on Baker Carter Drive toward Park Place Drive.
Project fixes to live in luxury. Now we in luxury. Straight out the bottom, nobody ain't nothing to me. Be careful walking with me. All of my little brothers, brother, they paying for me. Yeah, they gon' cut you for me. They ain't got cover them colors, they cut you for free. Say she in love with me.
Head west on Baker Carter Drive towards St. James Place. In 600 feet, turn right. Turn right.
Yeah, this Basil Rivers, I need to let you know, I'm on my way to the facility right now. I just want to check in, try to make a call and say that Detective Vinegar is hot on my trail, chasing me and trying to discover something from me. They grilled me in this interrogation process.
Continue on Georgia 124 south for 3 miles.
Yeah, so I'm coming to the undisclosed location right now so we can sit down and talk about the next step on how we want to approach this. He's not believing completely in the social media killer concept. He's buying into believing that I'm the one that's the target and I'm the one that's going to take the blame for it. I wasn't accounting for that for some reason in my equation, or they would try to blame me for everything that's going on the internet and why people are being detached from their feelings and emotions in a way that causes them to commit suicide, or blaming me for this whole process. But it's been like this. History has been this way forever. They always pick somebody in particular to be the fall guy to take the blame for it. And I'm not going to go for it. So I'll be there in a little bit, and we'll go ahead and we'll discuss the process and what we're going to do next. I'm on these steps because I refuse to be standing out here without a job, without any money. Somebody's going to compensate me for what is going on. Y'all ready? Well, this press conference is put together for me to explain something. That this whole thing is bigger than me and bigger than you. And for anybody that thinks anything different from that, it's very possible that you're kidding yourself. Now, I'm Basil Rivers. I'm a detective, or a former detective. My future is bright in a different way. I talked about and brought light to a struggle, tug of war that has been over 500, 800, 1,000 possibly plus or minus years of frustration. In talking about the social media killer as a past dignified government official, to be humiliated again in the presence of my peers, those that feel like they're my superior. Little did I know, and maybe other people knew this, that I don't have a voice. That the light has been flicked off, the microphones unplugged, and the communication is embarrassing when you learn and you find out that people you think are riding with you actually have their own stagecoach, their own fires and flames that they built on the other side, and you're left there with a bunch of bow and arrows coming at you full speed, which flips and changes into bullets. Westgate, who was injured in this recent process, is not only the only possible casualty in this realm, but there's a lot. The narrative rarely speaks of all of the soldiers, or lack thereof, that have used force to obliterate either an individual, idea, a concept, a culture, or anybody that gets in front of an idea I thought I had a mic. I thought I had a voice. To see Detective Cecil Vinegar in one swirl trying to assassinate my entire character, considering the youth, my environment where I come from, making it to this level, it's obvious that even though I come up or share brilliant concepts, at least to myself, that I am now labeled as a liar and a fabricated storyteller. So I want you to tell me that in the social media world, which is devices or levels of concentration that people are now feeling empowered or depowered or demasculated or masculated, sometimes predicated off the way other people feel about you. So when I talked about the social media killer, they was tapping on something, and I'm going to say that they're right. I am a part of the larger picture of killing any narrative that causes the backwash of something that should be going forward to be stymied. So if you want to blame me for trying to keep kids alive and not have low self-esteem, to not feel that they're isolated or alone because nobody's supporting any business adventures or anything that they're trying to create. So I'm saying because of the lack of love, being a social media killer was one of the only things that I felt like I could do. So on behalf of any warrior who has been injured, who has been fatal casualties or whatever, I just want you to know from my own heart that I'm not the only person responsible for controlling the narrative in any of these scenarios. So what I would love for you to do is to create your own scenario, be your own boss, and then try to come together as a planet, a full planet yourself, to see if we can make some differences, some efficiency. Because those that are in the back of the line need to get to the front. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Hey, this is Motell Granite again, the great. I just want to thank you all for supporting and